Hello. So today I want to talk about what to do when your team is quitting. If you find yourself in a situation where you have absolutely burnt yourself out and you have no more elbows to grind, yet your team is quitting, don't worry, it can be salvaged. And today I want to share two tips that have come in really handy on how to show up as a real leader when you pretty much have no one to lead. I cannot wait to dive into this topic. But first, if I'm new to you, my name is Jo Edgecombe. I'm an online marketer helping networking moms to leverage the power of social media to find high quality leads online, automate the business building, and develop influence in their network. So if that sounds good to you, you're in the right spot. Stick around. And today, despite the best laid plans, sometimes we can end up in a situation where our team is not performing as we want it to. So how do we build up a team that's quitting? Now, there are a few ways to approach this, but the one thing that you are absolutely never, ever, 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 ever allowed to do is to quit yourself. You must never not show up. You must never not perform. You don't have that option. And the reason why I'm so emphatic about this is because I know what happens when you quit based on your team's performance because I did it myself. There I was pouring my heart and soul into my team, and even my top performers started to sort of fall away. And I found this very disheartening. And the result is that I showed up less and less. But here's the thing. So I showed up less and less, which means that they showed up less and less. And the cycle was a vicious one because they then showed up less and less because I showed up less and less. And I showed up less and less because they showed up less and less. And we kept going around and around. And soon, none of us were showing up at all. you know, so the first step in dealing with a quitting team is to make sure that you are not the one who is quitting. This is vital. Firstly, because people are watching you. People are taking their cues from what you are doing. And if you are showing up less, it gives them permission to show up less. So make sure that you're visible. And this doesn't mean that you are accountable to anyone. However, you are accountable to your business, and that's what you're trying to build. So maintaining your visibility and even increasing your visibility is important, and it does two things for your business. One, it shows the people who are already in your team that you are working regardless of what they're doing. Not in a disrespectful sort of I don't need you way, but just look, my business isn't based on what you're doing, and as a leader you rise above what someone else is doing and you turn up yourself. So it demonstrates that. And secondly, it shows new people that you are working, and it gives them the opportunity to get to know you, and you get to build up that relationship. That's why even if your current team is quitting, when you implement this kind of work ethic, you will always have more team members ready to join, because you're always present, always serving value, and ready to work with whoever is working. So the old ones may want to quit, but you will put your energy into getting the new ones started, and you'll continuously be doing that. And the second thing you want to do when your team is quitting, though, is to learn to work in groups. It will absolutely exhaust you to try to do everything individually. You will, trying to prop people up all the time, man, you will absolutely tire yourself out. But if you work in groups, one, it's time efficient. And if it's done well, you get that sort of magic situation where they start supporting each other and lifting each other up and building their business together. And this is extremely powerful because your time is suddenly released because they now have a wider network of business colleagues to help them and support them, and they grow their businesses together. Um, and this is a beautiful thing when it starts to happen because here you're actually leveraging both your time and your team. So it's a win-win. So if you're looking around and you're disappointed by a team that isn't performing in the way that you would like, don't be disheartened. Certainly don't quit. Don't give up on your dream and don't give up on your business. All you need to do is tweak your approach and implement new strategies of how you work together. And remember to keep showing up. Keep showing up because your team and your new prospects are watching you. And if you don't show up, as I said, it gives them permission to not show up themselves. And then if you're not showing up and so they're going, well, we don't have to, then not only do you lose completely your current team, but you will also lose the potential team members who were showing up for you, the people who were just kind of quietly watching you in the background. Because you aren't there, they'll go find someone else to follow. They'll start looking elsewhere for that leadership. So, just to recap, the first thing the first thing to do when your team is quitting is to make sure that you're not joining them, that you're not quitting. And the next thing is to try as much as possible to work in groups. Allow them to cultivate relationships with each other. You could plan activities that can be done as a group so that you can naturally build up momentum and increase the activity in your team together. And that creates natural support systems because people will gravitate to whoever they feel comfortable with within the team. But they'll bolster each other and you won't have to be that main point all the time. For example, if your company encourages cold calling, then maybe you get together and do calls together. Both in my previous networking company and in my current networking company, we get together, whether it's on Zoom or physically when we can in the same room, and we go around and all of us just make calls and and it's quick, an hour. Everyone gets to make a good few calls and make appointments or however it is that's best for working in your company. But that is a fantastic business building group activity because your new members get to learn from your more experienced ones and natural sort of relationships build, and your business is actively being grown at the same time. It's perfect. Similarly, if there are social events that are encouraged, then do that as a group and get your team again working together, getting out into the community together. It's a wonderful way to work. And working as a group can be done in a variety of ways. So I'm telling you, it's time for you to get creative as a leader and figure out which ways will work best for you and your team and start implementing them. These 2 tips, they might sound simple, but when you're hanging onto your business by a thread, these are the sort of fundamental activities that will keep your business going and improve the state of your team and business, because you don't want a bunch of sour people in your team baptized in lemon juice. No, you want a team that's feeding off each other and building each other up. I think that's the best environment to cultivate. So that's it. 2 really simple tips. Make sure you don't quit and get your team to work together, and you will see that activity starting to rise and you'll see momentum starting to build. And before you know it, you will have a thriving team. And then all your other practical methods, your marketing methods, those will come into play and bear fruit as well. So I hope this was helpful. I know this was helpful because I've lived through it. And I know that this is the way to turn it around, the best way to turn it around. So if your team is quitting, don't lose heart. There's always hope. And if you'd like my help, my virtual door is always open. I love receiving messages and connecting with new people. So you are more than welcome to get in touch. But until we speak, take care. God bless.